Simon & Schuster Audio and Grove Atlantic present Untouchable, a Joe DeMarco thriller, by Mike Lawson. Read by Joe Barrett. I'm dedicating this book to my friend James Donahue. Jim is a lawyer who spent the last part of his career as a federal judge, and I've often asked for his advice when I had questions about the law or the way the legal system works, and he's helped me on many of my novels. There was one evening that I'll never forget. My wife and I were hosting a party to celebrate a book that had just been released, and Jim was there, but he kept having to leave the room to talk to lawyers on the phone. When I asked him what was going on, the short answer was that while I was drinking wine and signing books, he was engaged in a legal battle with the President of the United States. I remember thinking at the time how glad I was that I had my job instead of his. Thank you, Jim, for your friendship, all your help over the years, and your service to the country. 1. The President was engaged in an intense conversation with his national security advisor when 4 Secret Service agents burst into the Oval Office. The President, visibly startled by the unannounced intrusion, said, "What the—" Hawkins, the senior agent, strode toward him, saying, "Mr. President, we need to get you to the bunker, now." When the President sat there looking confused, Hawkins grasped his arm and pulled him up from his chair, a breach of protocol unimaginable in any other circumstance. The pen the President was holding fell from his hand, rolled across his desk, and fell to the carpet. "Put this on, sir," Hawkins said, and handed the President a gas mask. "What's happened?" the President asked. "Please put on the mask, sir," Hawkins said, "right now." The President noticed that none of the agents were wearing masks, and they hadn't brought one for Eric Doyle, the National Security Advisor. Maybe there hadn't been time to gather up additional masks. The President put the mask over his face, and Hawkins made sure it was sealed properly. "Let's go," Hawkins said. The 4 agents hustled the President out of the Oval Office, surrounding him, forming a human shield, as if their bodies could stop an airborne threat. Doyle followed behind the group. He noticed red lights flashing in the hallways, a sign of an emergency or a lockdown. He saw staffers heading toward the exits, Secret Service personnel hustling them along. Doyle could tell people were frightened. This wasn't a drill. But no one was panicking, and no one appeared to be injured. 2 minutes later, the President was in the bunker. The bunker's
sample complete. Ready to continue?